So we are going to make a Jen Stark Google Drawing. So to get on Google Drawings, you have to make sure you're signed in. You check to see if you're signed in over here. If you're not signed in, sign in, and then go to Google Drawings. You're going to see that it looks like this. You're going to change this to your name, and then unless you have another person in the class with your same name, just change it to your first name and then J Stark so that it's labeled properly. And then once you have that, if you ever lose your drawing, you can go back to Google Drive and all your work is saved on the cloud in Google Drive. So just go back there and you can find whatever you made. So the first thing I'm going to teach you to do is do a shape, and then I want to teach you how to do a group of shapes so that you can make your work look more like Jen Stark's. So this is where you get shapes from. We're going to just do a simple shape like a circle. It's really important that when you're doing circles that this little line pops up. That shows you that it's like a perfect circle and not an oval. So you're going to change the color by going to the paint fill and change the line color by going to that one. And you want a thick line, so I would do 12 or 8. And then once you have something like this, since we're going to make 6 of these, you're going to go over to Edit, Copy, and Paste. We want a group of 6, so that's why we want 6. And each one you're going to make just a tad bit smaller and change the colors in order to get the sort of Jen Stark effect. You can move it over just a tiny bit so you can sort of see them layered on top of each other. And spread them out. I copy and paste each one that's smaller so that I know that I'm getting it just a little bit smaller. And I don't have to sort of figure out if it's smaller or not. So one more. And then I've got a nice sort of tube. In order to keep this as a group, I need to put my finger or my tool on there, and then that selects them all. Then I'm going to go up to Arrange and then Group. And so now they work as a unit. Now if I move it over, if I move it over to my sideboard here, then it's out of the way. And I do want to do any groups that you have to do and push them over to the side because you need a lot of space in order to work on them. And once you have other elements on your page, you can't really make groups. So now I want to get my background in there, and I'm going to insert image and search the web. And I want to look up a black and white transparent background. And it's really important that it's transparent because otherwise it won't work. And I think because I have that dot in there, I'm getting some bad returns. All right, so these look really good, and I'm going to choose from one of these. Select it, and then insert. When it comes on, you're going to need to stretch it across your canvas and fit it to there. And now, if I try to bring this back in, it's going to go under. So I want to press Arrange and Order, and then I want to bring that to the front, and that'll put it in front. Now, I worked really hard on this. It seems like I could just squish it out and maybe stretch it out a little bit, but I can also copy it. I can edit, copy, and paste and add a couple, and then maybe I turn this one. If I select that, I can rotate it, And I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees, or counterclockwise. And then maybe I'll make this one a little smaller so it's different. And now let me show you how to add just some more shapes. Here's your shape tool. You can go into the shapes, you can go into the arrows, those look cool, or call outs too. And then you want to add some shapes and change, always make the line weight a lot heavier. And you can move that around however you think it looks good. And now there's one other thing that I really want as part of your drawing, and that's, we just worked on drip drawing, so we're going to add a drip. And so you're going to go to the line tool over here, drop it down and get the scribble tool. We're going to add one of those Jen Stark drippies to our work. Now that's way too thin, it's not very impressive, so we're going to go and make it all the way as big as it'll go. And probably you're going to want to change the color because that's a little bit, it blends into the background too much. Go ahead and play around with it until you find the color that you like. And then what you can do is you can keep adding them. So I might go back to my scribble tool, get real close to your last one and go real slow. Otherwise you end up with white spots in between, which you don't want. Might have got one there. Okay, so I don't want to keep it the same color. Unless you want it thicker, then you can keep it the same color. But I'm going to change it up so that it's bright, and I'm going to keep going until I fill the top of my artwork. I might add some more shapes because the rubric says you have to have 5 to 7, so 1 or 2 of them have to be grouped, and right now that means I have 3 shapes. So go ahead and continue to add shapes onto your artwork after you're done with your drip. And remember, what I mean by drip is I bring it all the way up to the top. But I could add a nice arrow and lots of other fun shapes. So go ahead and play around with it. I can stretch this too. I don't have to keep it like exactly how it was. I can make it longer. So you're making your composition, do what you feel looks good, and then when you're done, you're gonna want to take a screenshot and upload it onto Seesaw so that I can see your work.